Ah, there you go. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be, good evening, whatever the time of day is. Well, we won't know because we've been locked down. I'm getting a bit of sunshine coming in from the windows, which is obviously distracting a little bit, but hey ho, and I've got my cup of coffee, schlappy schlap. Let's talk about what I put up there. What am I talking about? This virus is not behaving like a normal virus. We know for a fact that there's something in this virus that's not in any other virus, which is this thing called a fruitin. Fruitn. We know for a fact, we're going to give you a timeline here. Remember the dates and the times. On February the 2nd, Xi Zhengli turned around and said it wasn't from her lab and this was a punishment from nature. February the 15th, we know that the Chinese Ministry of Science and Technology administered new guidelines on how to work in these biological labs. We know on February the 22nd of 2020, we know that the World Health Organization mirrored that. So we're going to talk about this in a bit more detail because we know the World Health Organization is bought by China. And this video here, we will see now who refuses to acknowledge Taiwan, doctor removed from the WHO website. Interesting. So, this one is even better. This one is Chinese biologists caught transporting SARS virus. Experts fear it could be a bioterror related. This is just today. They've been stealing stuff, taking stuff out of the country illegally for years. But now I'm going to read you something, and then I'm going to show you something, and then we're going to discuss it a little bit. Why China? 2 bat COVs caused outbreaks in China. It is thus urgent to study the reasons to avoid future outbreaks. China is the 3rd largest territory and also the most populous nation in the world. A vast homeland plus diverse climate bring about the great biodiversity, including that of bats and bat-borne viruses. Most of the coronavirus species, 22 out of 38, were named by Chinese scientists studying local bats or other mammals. The majority of the COVs can be found in the China table. 1. Moreover, most of the bats hosts of these COVs live near humans, potentially transmitting viruses to humans and livestock. Chinese food culture maintains that live slaughtered animals are more nutritious, and this belief may enhance viral transmission. It is generally believed that bat-borne COVs will re-emerge to cause the next disease outbreaks. In this regard, China is likely hotspot. The challenge is to predict when and where, so we can try our best to prevent such outbreaks. They're talking about wet markets there, where live animals are taken there to be slaughtered and sold, and in some cases cooked as well, in some cases eaten raw as well. But when was this written, and who wrote it? You can have a copy of this because you have to look it up. But it's called Viruses, Bat Coronaviruses in China, so you'll have to look this one up because I managed to get the PDF down on this. But look who's one of the authors. Zhengli Shi, the Batwoman herself, the mother of the devil. But when was it written? Oh, that's right, 29th of January 2019. Accepted 26th of February 2019. Published the 2nd of March 2019. It's a very good piece of documentation, and it will show you all the table one, all the different bats, going through all the different diseases. Tells you more about the SARS virus and everything else. I'm hoping I can find the link to again. I might be able to. I've lost the link. I've only managed to learn the PDF, so you'll have to look for it yourself on that one. Or I'll try and link it. I'll see what I can do. Will they ever learn? Chinese markets are still selling bats and slaughtering rabbits on blood-soaked floors as Beijing celebrates victory over... Hang on a minute, the coronavirus. When was this written? This was written on the 28th of March by somebody actually in China. This is what we're dealing with. A live wet market. You get that article saying that's going to be the next outbreak, and now the wet markets are open again. Why hasn't the Chinese government clamped down on them? Because they know it hasn't come from a wet market. That's the point. Another Mail article. I know I'm using Mail, but because Mail has been pretty good on this, there's only a few people that are actually willing to ask the questions. Did coronavirus originate in Chinese government laboratory? Scientists believe killer disease may have begun in a research facility 300 yards from the Wuhan wet fish market. See, there's 2 facilities in Wuhan. We'll get to that in a minute. Workers in protected gear carried a bag containing a giant salamander that was reported to have escaped from the Hunan seafood market. People in biohazard suits, fully suited up. If it was just your hands and breathing it in, why are they fully covered from the suits? So the Wuhan Center for Disease and Control and Prevention. This is the one that people are not talking about. Is exactly 277.73 meters from the Hunan seafood market. It's also next door to the hospital where most of the patients went into. Now it gets more frustrating when you read this. China built a lab to study SARS and Ebola in Wuhan, and the US biosafety experts warned in 2017 that the virus could escape the facility that's becoming a key in fighting the outbreak. In other words, the arsonist has become the fireman. Tim Trevor, a Maryland biosafety consultant, told Nature that year that the lab was on the cusp of opening, that he worried that China's culture could make the institute unsafe because structures where everyone feels free to speak and up and openness of information are important. In fact, the SARS virus had escaped multiple times from a lab in Beijing, according to the Nature article. So it's more than twice. I told you. The Chinese culture of silence and clamping down on this is the reason why this has happened. This is Chernobyl all over again. Now we have the Hunan seafood market. Now we have the Wuhan Institute of Virology. This is the level 4 BSL lab. A video here of a hazmat team to treat person who collapsed after coronavirus outbreak. Yeah, hazmat, hazardous material suits. Scientists at the Wuhan Virology wear high-grade hazmat suits. One of the institute's grounds is the Wuhan Biosafety Laboratory, which is designated include viruses, bloody things sticker. These has hazmat. So this is an interesting article. I'll link that before. But here's a timeline. December the 31st. World Health Organization China Country Office was informed of cases of pneumonia of unknown cause detected in Wuhan City, Hubei province of China. Around 27 suspected cases reported in the month of December. January 1st, 2020, total of 27 suspected. Seafood market was closed for environmental sanitation and disinfection after being closely linked with the patients. Why did they go in there and sterilize all this area? There's a lot of questions got to be asked about this. January 5th, doctors ruled out severe acute respiratory syndrome as being the cause of the virus, as well as bird flu, Middle East respiratory syndrome, and of its meanwhile, Hong Kong reported suspected cases, 59 confirmed. It's January the 9th, 59 confirms 1 death. Officials at the Wuhan Municipal Health Commission reported the outbreak's first death on January the 9th, a 61-year-old man. He was one of the people that took stuff in and out of this wet market. Total 42 confirmed cases, 1 death, January 13th. Chinese woman in Thailand was the first confirmed case of the mystery virus outside of China. The 61-year-old was quarantined on January the 8th, but has since returned home in stable condition after having treatment, the Thai Health Ministry said. The WHO told hospitals around the globe to prepare if the possible event of the infection is spreading. January the 14th. January the 16th, a man in Tokyo is confirmed to have tested positive for the disease after travelling to the Chinese city of Wuhan. Second death, a 69-year-old, was reported by officials at Wuhan Municipal Health Commission. He died in the early hours of January the 15th at Jinyantin Hospital in Wuhan City, having first been admitted to hospital on December the 31st. We go down, we can start seeing the increases and how it's starting to really grow. This was hospital in Wuhan. Again, I'll link that below for you to see. Now here we go. This is the piece I wanted to show you. The possible origins of the 2019 nCoV coronavirus. South China University of Technology. Some of the Office of Publication are also working on these related projects. So these people are there. 6th of February 2020. It was uploaded. In other words, it was put online. Although the actual main thing has been taken off by the Chinese, but people have got hold of it. It's all the bits and pieces. Correspondent author 23. Nature this week has indicated the genome sequence for the patients were 96% or 89% identical to the bat coronavirus ZC45. Coronavirus originally found in Rhinophilus affinis. It was critical to study where the pathogen came from and how it passed on to human. An article published on The Lancet reported that 41 people in Wuhan were found to have acute respiratory syndrome and 27 had contact within the Hunan seafood market. The 2019 nCoV was found in 33 out of 585 samples collected in the market after the outbreak. That's interesting. Found in 33 out of 585 samples. The market was suspicious to be the origin of the epidemic and was shut down according to the rule of quarantining the source during the epidemic. The bats carrying the CoV ZC45 were originally found in Yunnan or Zhejiang province, both of which were more than 900 kilometers away from the seafood market. It is in a densely populated district of Wuhan, a metropolitan of 15 million people. The probability was very low for the bats to fly to the market. According to the municipal reports, the testimonies of 31 residents and 28 visitors. The bat was never a food source in the city, and no bat was traded in the market. There was a possible nature recombination of intermediate hosts of the coronavirus, yet little proof has been reported. Are you getting that? Was there any other possible pathway? We screened the area around the seafood market and identified 2 laboratories conducting research on bat coronavirus. Within 280 meters from the market, there was the Wuhan Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Figure 1, showing you that one. And they hosted animals in laboratories for research purposes, one of which was specialized in pathogens collection and identification. In one of their studies, 155 bats, including Rhinophilus affinis, were captured in Hubei province. And another 450 bats were captured in the Zhejiang province. The expert in collection was noted in the author contributions, J.H.T. Moreover, he was broadcasted for collecting the viruses on nationwide newspapers and websites in 2017 and 2019. He described that he was once attacked by bats and the blood of a bat shot on his skin. He knew he was in extreme danger of infection, so he quarantined himself for 14 days. In another accident, he quarantined himself again because bats peed on him. He once thrilled for catching a bat carrying a live tick. Is this patient zero we're talking about here? Surgery was performed on the caged animals and the tissue samples were collected for DNA and RNA extraction and sequencing. The tissue samples and contaminated traces were sources of pathogens that were only 280 meters from the seafood market. The World Health, the WHCDC, was also adjacent to the Union Hospital, where the first group of doctors were infected during this epidemic. It is plausible that the virus leaked around and some of them contaminated in the initial patients in this epidemic through solid proofs that are needed to future study. The second in the laboratory was 12 kilometers, blah 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 blah. In summary, somebody was entangled, and this is the most important wording on this. In summary, somebody was entangled with the evolution of the 2019 nCoV coronavirus. In addition to origin of natural recombination and intermediate host, the killer coronavirus probably originated from a laboratory in Wuhan. Safety level may need to be reinforced in high-risk biohazardous laboratories. Regulations may be taken to relocate laboratories far away from city centres and other densely populated places. Timeline: February the 2nd, Zhengli Shi. Wasn't my lab. February the 15th, after the meeting on the 7th of February by Xi Jinping. On the 15th of February we have the Ministry of Science and Technology changing new rules of how to work in the bio laboratories. 22nd of February, the World Health Organization mirrors the Chinese new regulations. So what I will do with that one is, because I've got it here for the same article again, but this one I can actually link for you, and hopefully this one will work. Biological terrorism. Don't forget, the head of running this is Major General Chen Wei, who is the head of the Chinese biological warfare. And as you can see, we're going down here, all the bits and pieces that you need to know, charts, tables and everything else. I suggest you go through this bioterrorism one, a very interesting one, like for instance category A agents, what they are, what a plague is and how it happens. I've linked all of that below, and the reason why I'm saying this now is because I believe our governments know this. I believe that the testing they're doing is not going to get 100% accuracy because they don't know what they're looking for. That is a fact. I'm afraid to break that to you, because nobody has patient zero. The only people that have patient zero are the very people lying about it and hiding it, and that's China. And they would rather watch the world burn than lose face, because this is what this is all about, losing face. Could it be that it was deliberate by Zhengli, or was it an accident? But one thing is for certain, China needs to be investigated, World Health Organization needs to be investigated, and the media that played a role in this need to be prosecuted. Have a nice day.